Hope illegitimate art form, grid. Locked in the lack of a platform. Solid infrastructure where knowledge isn't nurtured. Nature isn't ruptured. Fake won't cut the mustard. And nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing. Determination declares if you're deterred to malfunction. A reservation reserving a murder person. You're judging cause you're no pressing your buttons. So then you question the substance. To never do uni but be unidirectional. Duly dependable music professional. No few are identical. Refusing heretical. Omnidirectional. Chasing the decibel. And nothing is supposed to be easy. You don't believe it, can't be in the moment, seize it. I don't give to receive it, live to achieve, not to appease. It's not a part-time caprice, even on my knees. It's what lets me breathe and I'm at ease. My heart of steel has a corrugated structure. Right on the wheel where the tyres were punctured. The bumper of a fantasist. The struggle of a masochist. Burning desire of an arsonist. I put the heart in this. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Self-harmless as a narrative, laid back as a matterist. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Take pride in being impulsive. Cycles of indulgence for writing I'm compulsive. Instinctively convulsive, intrinsically repulsive. I infiltrate your numbness, run rings round your circumference. And everything can happen, working hard to make it work. Diligence is happy, sitting back to pass the buck. Primitive gets nasty if you create your own luck. Disengage the passion, turning down the thumbs up. But ramifications get standing ovations. Enamored impatience, it cannot get raging. A manifestation of non-hesitation. The centralisation of vocation is creation. The truth is unmistakable, devoid of altercation. Life is not debatable when awkward conversation. Time is irreplaceable, can't stop it from escaping. My freedom is operational, living off imagination. My heart of steel has a corrugated structure. Right on the wheel where the tyres were punctured. The bubble of a fantasist. The struggle of a masochist. Burning desire of an arsonist. To put a heart in this. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Self-harmless as a narrative, laid back as a matterist. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Learning is earning the true philosophy. Determined, discerning the huge majority. Or sterling, submerging a knowledge economy. Immersing a person in monetary policy. Out of politics and sovereignty. What depicts authority? Liberal living logically. Think I lost the plot like a game of Monopoly. Cause I've not bought the property. I look at it awkwardly. You look at me awkwardly. Forever the optimist, cleverly cognitive. Footpath innocuous, steadily striding walkway. That's provocative, prerogative, synonymous with honestness. 2 feet on the ground and I would pick a chiropodist. Success, no destination, a journey of promises. Tested by complications, not burdened by lawlessness. Tasting the motivation of hunger, subconsciousness. Invest in the information, self-control, reconnaissance. My heart of steel has a corrugated structure. Right on the wheel where the tyres were punctured. The bubble of a fantasist. The struggle of a masochist. Burning desire of an arsonist. I put a heart in this. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Self-harmless as a narrative, laid back as a matterist. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. In tandem with my manuscript paralysis of arrogance. An anarchist analysis embarrasses your narrative. My heart of steel has a corrugated structure. I turn the wheel where the tyres were punctured. The bubble of a fantasist. The struggle of a masochist. Burning desire of an arsonist. I put a heart in this. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Self-harmless as a narrative, laid back as a matterist. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose.
Alright people, welcome to another Besides the Norm podcast, episode number 24. We're getting up there, we're reaching the double digits, man.
What's your goal? We're reaching double digits.
We've surpassed double digits.
Double digits.
Aye.
By quite a margin.
By quite a margin.
We're on to triple digits next. And then quadruple.
Calm down.
And then
well, my goal is just to keep going. There's no sort of stopping
period. There's no end goal.
There's no seasons.
You didn't see an end in sight for this podcast?
Nah. Like when people say, where do you see yourselves in 5 years' time?
Still doing this.
No.
This is the goal.
I should sound more excited.
But this is the end goal.
No, that's it.
As pathetic as it is.
Defo, man, defo. So you are tuned in again, as I say, to the Besides the Norm podcast with Scuba and Monk. What we've decided to do this week is because tomorrow night at the Art School in Glasgow, the last gig ever for Hector Bizerk, we decided to play 3 Hector Bizerk tunes that we quite enjoyed, basically. The last tune we've played many times before, it's our favourite tune, so it's a nice wee one to jam out. If anyone doesn't ken, usually after the podcast, we stop talking, then the last tune goes on and we're like, we just start dancing a bit like fucking
Cohle.
Absolute dick ends.
Not even joking either.
It's quite pathetic sometimes, but it's enjoyable at the same time. So again, sort of last show for Hector Bizerk. What are you feeling about Hector Bizerk quitting?
Greeting, man.
Greeting?
Total greeting.
And tears and shit?
Greeting for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon the reasons. I reckon...
I think it as well, I don't really care about the reasons.
No.
I'm sure there's some sort of personal reasons and stuff like that, but it's still sad to see him go.
Although, saying this is going to sound shit to me as well. As much as I like Hector Bizerk, Louis still going to be rapping.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So it's not as if you're going to be like, oh, there's going to be naked music ever again. Louis still rapping. Louis still has... he still gets good beats. He still has nice hooks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as if it's just
Knows if that
not
stopped.
a band.
It'd be like if
aspect
Dave
of
Hook
it.
left Stan the Odd sort of thing,
Aye.
it would still be, because Stan the Odd's kind of the main part of that. Like
Aye.
if he was to leave, it wouldn't make a huge difference.
No.
Maybe to some people that need their guitar played live.
But
sort
even
of thing.
then, a lot of rappers now are going solo, but just having a band
Oh yeah.
in the background.
Well, that's been a kind of a huge thing in the last at least few years.
Aye.
Ever since I noticed Stan the Odd doing it, everybody else seems to have not jumped on the bandwagon. I hate that fucking word, because that's been happening for years. The Roots started off as a whole band.
I think bands are just better live.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
There's a wee thing, like I was DJing one day and Hector Bizerk were performing, and it was at what do you call the wee place? It was a kind of wee, kind of dingy looking place. I love the places in Edinburgh.
They're the best hip hop gigs.
Aye, defo, man, defo. Great atmosphere in that as well. It's fantastic. But
I didn't like the thought of being at like a 50 Cent concert. Where
no,
there's like,
way too many people.
what? I'm not very good at assuming numbers, but if there's like a million people in a stadium, it always seems like it's too much.
Aye.
It's not a music gig anymore. It's just a corporate event.
Oh yeah.
And that I'm not.
That's it. Well, me and Tony Smoke were sort of DJing for some of the people that were on, but the energy you get for a live band, the drums fucking kicking through you, is quite incredible, actually.
So it's not just the fact that that's how music was. So we're used to that being music. So that's what we want.
It's just that there's a
there is genuinely just there is a special atmosphere.
There's a kind
The
of
bands.
a huge difference. The drums are, because all the drums are programmed in hip hop, kind of already. They're all kind of like pre-mastered for playing out loud. You didn't get quite the live atmosphere from that sort of thing. Like, especially if somebody's playing live, it's just a lot better for some reason. Don't understand it, but it's just a lot better atmospherically. It seems to work a lot better, I feel. So we spoke about Still Game last week.
Aye.
We kind of discussed the fact that it was coming back on, and
The next day.
the next day, and fucking we were sort of a wee bit concerned as to either how it would go or how people would perceive us.
Well, we've been speaking about Still Game since we first heard about it when Kaz Paul was in the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the first time Kaz Paul was in.
I think so, aye.
No, it was a news podcast.
Right.
It was there for the election
Right.
podcast. And that was when it was first announced that I was coming back. And then me and Kaz started singing a song for Chewing the Fat. But it was the Still Game characters.
Classic piece of podcast.
Classic podcast, by the way. That is the shit right there, son. You didn't even fuck with that. But I've been excited. I'm kind of excited about the fact, because it's Still Game coming back. I've got nostalgia about Still Game. But then after watching the first couple of seasons and whatever, I've been like, oh, it's not very good. But then it was on and it was good.
I enjoyed it. I was a couple of belly laughs, so you could really ask for, really.
Aye.
You've got
It's
the
a
kind
20 odd minute BBC show. It's not going to be edgy.
No.
It's not going to be fucking.
But it was kind of as I expected. It was quite funny. Just loads of daft stuff happened. It was quite the Rock's thing. When he brought the Rock up to the front door, him thinking that would even like that to me is stupidity.
Oh, I didn't know what you were talking about.
I couldn't. That's part of the comedy. Like fucking Victor thought it would blend in, but there's no way.
There's no way you would.
A human would think that would work.
No.
And then for him to grab loads of other rocks.
That was just a stupid, funny thing, though.
Aye, I know.
So they could say, "Oh no, Victor's away buying pebbles."
Aye.
That's a funny sentence. It's just a funny sentence. There doesn't need to be any need for it. What one criticism I have is the subs. Well, is that a sub story? The Ohe sort of story.
I know he kind of sub
So
stories.
it's not really a sub story at that point. It's just that
subplot.
Is it a subplot?
Not really, because it's not really a story still game.
Because Jack and Victor aren't even really main characters in Still Game. They're on the front screen, but Winston and that get sort of equal airtime. Although that's maybe not true.
Probably not quite as true as you would think it would be.
No, it's not. Thinking back, that Jack and Victor got way more stage time.
Aye, definitely.
The subplot where Winston and his brer seemed to be forced, like it didn't fit. I reckon why they done. And then at the end, I thought there was going to be a punchline that he'd gave him this envelope and done something else and kept the money somehow. He hadn't.
Spoiler alert for everybody that's seen it. I think everybody's seen it.
And then he hadn't done anything, and then he just paid for the tab. And I'm like, what?
I suppose it's a thing.
There was nothing there. There was no end.
I suppose it's a wee bit of social commentary on what you do for family, sort of thing. You just kind of grin and bear it, sort of thing.
But there was nothing there.
I know it doesn't need to be a joke.
In a comedy show.
But there doesn't always need to be a punchline on every single fucking thing.
But there was no ending to it. There was nothing. It just didn't seem like it was finished, or maybe it was because it didn't fit in with the rest of the fucking show.
Maybe he's coming back.
Maybe.
That's why they've left it on such a shitty edge. You never know. You never know these things,
like
man.
Harry. But even when every time Harry left, there was a why he left.
Aye.
He got a broomstick up the arse, or he fucked off because he caught Winston pumping Isa, or there was always an end point to it. And this one just didn't seem to have anything.
We'll see what pans out. I didn't think it was as bad as you make it. It
didn't ruin the show. I'm just saying it didn't seem like it fit.
Aye, well that's fair enough. That's fair. But I'm glad to see it's back. So I'm back the morning's night again. So we're going to do like a whole series review. So maybe that could come up if he does, his brother does come back.
Aye, then you could say, fuck off, cunt.
I told you so, bitch. They could work that way. But that's cool. We'll do that when it sort of comes. This weekend, as far as a wee extra story for us, this weekend is the release of Craig getting hit by a fish. Still makes me laugh every time.
Are we also releasing the video of you being slapped?
No.
Why not?
Because it's shit.
Well, we'll do it again.
Oh, we could do that again, I suppose.
Cool.
Well, we're going to get an air fish, actually. A wee bit of backstory. That day, somebody suggested...
Maybe you shouldn't tell folk this.
How?
Because I think this is what folk would be like. Really? They actually managed to get them to do this?
Maybe I will leave it. We'll go into some news stories.
We'll go into some news stories.
We'll leave the mystery of going to news stories. That's what we'll do.
You want me to go first, or do you want you to go first?
I'll go first, I think.
That's one of my stories.
Oh shit! Right. Well, you talk about.
You've got much less stories than I thought.
You've probably got much more insight on.
I've not got much more insight at all. It was.
You know.
That was the website I was on.
Right.
So you just go ahead and we'll talk.
Well, Brian Cox made a shock claim this week. We haven't met aliens because they're dead, and humans are next.
Haven't met aliens.
I haven't met. That's my slurry, shitty voice. Brian Cox has claimed aliens have not made contact with us because the most advanced civilizations kill themselves off, and we will too. Now, are people mad at him for that? Oh,
pussies.
Weird.
That was a video with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
For context.
The star of TV's Wonder of the Universe believes eventually every civilization kills themselves off, which is why no beings are yet to make a dominant impact on the universe. Now, this is quite common knowledge. Most civilizations die off. That's just the way it goes. Waiting on people being shocked. It doesn't seem like people are shocked.
But that's based on our understanding of previous civilizations who had never got to this point. And at this point, humans are self-sustaining. Removing the world's going to explode at some point thing, and the Earth is going to implode and sort of suck us into it. Forgetting that, the human race is self-sustaining at this point. We've got robots and shit. We document everything. There would need to be a humongous disaster for the human race to disappear at this point. The human race is too big. Our civilization has never got to that point. So I think it doesn't. I didn't really buy that it applies to us.
I think that the world is a lot bigger and a wee bit more complicated than we actually think it is. So for the world to just fucking turn round and start again, like just for the rocks to kind of re-evolve, the fucking volcanoes just to blow up, just for the world to fucking start again, the world could be destroyed at any fucking point.
Aye, but that's what I mean. There would need to be a huge thing to wipe. Like at this point, unless we go into fucking nuclear war, which seems plausible.
Could all be done in 5 minutes.
I take back what I said. We've got Donald Trump almost being president. So
that's getting exciting, isn't it? It's getting close to the cuff of disaster.
November.
We've got
a podcast. The date, 24th, I think?
Something like that. We've got a podcast like the week before it. I was thinking of doing something about it. Maybe getting a few guests in or something. Like that's been helpful before.
Totally.
Getting guests in and shit. But I'm interested in doing something like that.
We'll get Donald Trump in for a wee chat.
There you go. Fuck aye. So that's the end of that story.
He's already kind of agreed.
What about you, man? Next one?
IKEA have removed a picture from one of their bedroom display things because there was a picture of a boy with pretending he had a moustache, and somebody was outraged because Hitler.
Oh, for God's sake!
So it was just a boy doing this. I'm doing the pretend you've got a moustache. That's what you do.
Oh.
You put your hand there, your mouth, right? That's what you do. And Stevie Davis Evans was outraged at this.
Outraged.
He was red in the face with anger. Could not believe that a wee boy was pretending he had a moustache.
He slammed in his fucking caviar sandwich and fucking just went, "You bastards!"
He went on Twitter and sent it to IKEA HQ or whatever it is. I don't fucking kidding. But he was like a boy pretending to be a moustached person. Inappropriate much. Hashtag Hitler or something like that. Or fucking calm down.
See, the main problem with that is that the absolute inaccuracy of a full moustache that you give Hitler when you done that sign at scale. Aye. Everybody fucking done it. Didn't he say, didn't he? When you do that wee fucking stupid pose with the daft fucking huge length of moustache.
Aye.
It's absolutely inaccurate. So, but you are trying to be Hitler at that point. That wee boy was just...
it was curved and everything. It wasn't even straight. It was just pretending he had a moustache.
Aye. Just
there was nothing... Although he was blonde and blue-eyed, so he was fucking perfect for Hitler. But there was nothing there. That's outrage for the point of being outraged. And I didn't agree. See, right. Here we go. Right. So, put the on, hang on. This is a thing, right? So, there's a...
What the fuck?
The return!
The return of what the fuck. There's an argument right now, right, between the left and the right. Or between the left and the other left, right? You might have seen this. The regressive left.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is the argument that the left are the real lefts and the other lefts, the regressive lefts, aren't really that left. Or they're too left, depending on who you're asking.
Right.
Because some left people think differently. Some left people think right. And so, for to confuse myself. So the idea is that the regressive left find something to be outraged by in order to fulfill an authoritarian ideology of some sort. Mm-hmm. So they'll say, we need to respect everybody's culture, including the Muslims that want to kill the gay people, but we also support the gay people. Two opposing things there. Mm-hmm. And so the left say, the non-regressive left that say they hate the regressive left, say that they are fine with Muslims up until the point where they hate the gays, and then they hate the Muslims and support the gays, whereas the regressive left try and say both. And now I've got a problem with this regressive left thing, is because it's now been a platform for the right wing to go onto the left wing and start saying, oh, you're just a regressive lefty, you're a fucking idiot, cunt. Whatever. A lot of pish, just most of the time it's just pish. It's just denouncing an idea because fucking leftists, fucking, oh, look, you want equality for people and that, fucking dickheads, man.
I've seen that quite a lot actually for certain people.
And it's really fucking, it's grating on me, like brutal, because I've been on both ends. I've been called an aggressive leftist because I'm not like, oh, Pakis should be sent to fucking whatever countries because they're Muslims and Muslims. Mm-hmm. And I've also been called right wing because I'm like, well, when you get to the point of being a Muslim that hates gay people, then I'm going to side with the gay people before the Muslim, because you could change your religion, you can't change who you want to pump. So that's my thing. So I've had problems with both sides. But this instance is an instance where fucking regressive left do fucking exist. That's such an outrageous thing to be outraged by. It doesn't even make sense. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Just, oh, wee boy pretending he had something that he doesn't have. Oh, go racism.
Oh, so people are actually having like proper debates about this and shit.
I think it's just this cunt, this fucking Stephen Davis Evans prick. Just a guy with Twitter. That's all he is. He's just a guy with Twitter, and he's got like opinions about stuff.
Just
arsehole.
Just looking for stuff to be annoyed at.
Aye, it's looking for outrage. Just purely to be outraged. Mm-hmm. So I went on a rant for no reason there, but I feel better.
Because you were outraged.
For getting it off my chest.
You were outraged.
Or out my chest. Off my chest. Doesn't matter.
Off your chest.
Biologically correct.
So that was our...
What the fuck?
Segment. Welcome back to that. It's fantastic. BMW's new motorcycle concept is so smart that you won't need a helmet.
Pish.
At least according to its press photos. Look at the fucking state
sake.
of that. Look at it.
Looks horrible.
Looks like a fucking Batman bike or something.
A shit Batman, right?
I mean, it looks fucking awful.
Doesn't even look comfortable or like.
I'll put a picture in the description. It looks like a total Batman motorcycle, man. It's fucked up.
So what's the thing? Why do you not need the helmet?
You
do need the helmet, don't you? I mean,
matte black, fucking hell. Come on.
Are they saying it's because the wheels are so thick that it can't appear?
It's just
because that's not why you need a helmet.
It's just
you need a helmet on a bike in case something else hits you.
What a shit story. It's a terrible, useless fucking bike.
The reason you need a helmet on a bike isn't in case the bike tips there when you're sitting still. It's in case a lorry rams into you and then you do triple backflips and shit then land on your face. That's why you need a helmet.
I think because like a lot of these cars that are coming out now, they've got the sensors that sense, like if you're coming up close to another car, it'll maybe move back, or fucking like that could help you with parking and shit like that as well. So like in that sense, it's probably
do you think
so safe that you can't.
There's going to be a point where there's not going to need to be driving lessons.
No, I think you need a certain test because fucking old people. You seen old people now?
There's cars that could drive themselves.
I suppose aye, in a sense. But I think you need that kind of manual ability as well, because if that fucks it up, aye. You always need.
But there's the problem though, is a lot of Americans can't drive gear stick cars.
I have noticed that's mental, isn't it? That they didn't actually.
That any of the lads I used to speak to, she couldn't drive manual.
I
was like, so you can't drive then?
It's weird that the predominant cars in America are actual automatics. It's pretty mental.
Aye. I don't think I've ever been in an automatic car.
I was in one once and I only got to drive it for about 10 minutes, I think. And it was weird because there's nothing to do. So I kind of got bored.
You just drive?
You just drive. There's a wee bit like, there's like a wee knob at the side. Knob at the side. It's like a gear stick, but it's like you can put it in like neutral and reverse and stuff like that. So you just put it on forward and you just go forward. So
it's a forward and backwards thing?
Aye.
That's not a gear stick, is it?
it's a semi-gear stick, I would say. But it's absolutely nutty.
You can't say, oh, I'm a good driver. I drive with a gear stick.
But there used to be like loads of problems plaguing automatic cars, which is why they weren't so well known over
They
here.
used to burn out apparently because something about the gears, it would go up.
There's something to do with
something.
something to do with the mechanics inside. That it was prone to jamming and stuff like that.
What I heard from my driving instructor was that when you're shifting up a gear, you shift up a gear before it starts to rev, essentially. And automatic cars go later than you would shift up manually. So that started to burn out engines or something.
Because
that could be old ass information. I got no fucking idea.
I could fuck how long would that have been?
That was years ago.
That
was at least 6 years ago.
We forget how much technology changes in that time. It could be totally fucking different now. Are automatic cars dearer?
I reckon.
There might be an air fucking factor.
Surely it's less because you're buying less.
You're buying less.
You're not buying
work.
the gear stick, so give you 15 quid off.
Nah, I think because of the extra work that the geared cars are cheaper. Cheaper. Sorry.
I think diesel cars are easier to drive.
Right.
Than petrol cars.
Is that not because of power steering and stuff like that? I'm just adding stuff in.
No, I say because I started off driving a diesel Mini, so that would have been weird. Just me at a gas.
You can probably people listening that care about cars probably pissing themselves laughing at your fucking complete lack of knowledge.
Well, I think if all Minis are diesel, but I would have just been weird. Just me at a diesel pump in my wee Mini, just like, alright, chief, how you then? Getting diesel in it.
I reckon if it would be weird or no. I've no idea.
Does it know something about I reckon.
You're so useless at car shit.
But the thing about diesel apparently is that well, when I switched from diesel to petrol, I cut out all the fucking time. I just cut out all it. It's like it doesn't even work.
Maybe just you.
In fairness, I was beginning to drive, so I was also shit. But even the instructor was like, you're going to cut out a lot more coming from diesel to petrol. I reckon why. I have no idea why. It's just a thing.
Don't understand it, man.
Happens.
I can nothing about cars, man.
It's coming across that weekend. Fuck all about cars. Sometimes I like to just speak. Just see what comes out.
See how it goes on.
Sometimes you might shock yourself and be right about something.
There you go.
But most of the time I'm wrong. So
Definitely. Right, so we'll get into the next track from Hector Bizerk. This track is called Man Up.
With a stagnated sense of direction, backdated debt and depression, a rat race of discerning possessions, a blank page on the gross of your earnings, taxation will force your ambition, cost of living by your honest decision, rampaged in that awkward position, cost of living by your honest decision. You were Robert Mugabe is to Zimbabwe, hang around with a bad scent of scampi. What was fine about you is you're lackey, get yourself a job, a partner and be happy. Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, make yourself a man. Come on, buddy, pull yourself together. Could get lucky, better late than never. Consume with the body where you dwell forever. Get your hands dirty, would it help or hinder? It's time that you tidy up your own mess. Decidedly brighten up the process. Life in love, a call with no stress. Hang up a graphs at the job centre and protest. And activities contribute to your misery. You have the ability not to lack stability, but a man's hostility self-sufficiently covers up the balaclava on your masculinity. Yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, make yourself a man. Stop waiting for something to happen, complaining and moaning and yapping, drug taking, divorce and the passion. Some state where you're hopeless in action, ghost your companion, a diagnosis. Living in the past where you're dying focused, difficult to land past where your higher hope is. In a later gas pressure, ass pestosis. No bed of roses, pick yourself up. Know why you felt rough when your birds up the dolphins. You never felt love this, ironic enough. Like Michelle Moans when the rap I'm going bust. Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, make yourself a man. Mama, no ambition is dangerous. Won't wait up what the situation is. Won't save up minimum wages. His excuse for belligerent laziness. Persuasiveness, there's no talking to him. Today this is me acknowledging him. Life's not all about the moans and groans. Sitting skin when you're stoned and you're on your own. Back to the wall when the past was trouble. Angst understanding to wrap your knuckles. Hammer in the hand and you try to be subtle with the fancy thoughts of a happy couple. Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man, why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man. Why don't you make yourself a man? Make yourself a man. Make yourself a man.
It was Man Up by Hector Bizerk. Quality tune, man. Fucking another one of my favourites, like.
The dopest of tunes, Lord.
Fuck aye, man. Fuck aye. Right, news stories again. What's your next one?
Mars.
Aye, Mars. Holy shit.
Why did that not come up?
Aye, holy fuck, aye. That's mental.
I've been sitting about a mile away from the mic there.
I seen this at 3 o'clock this morning. And I think somebody...
Is that when it started, like?
No, it was way before that. I was like 12 hours in. I watched it at 3 in the morning. And fucking... basically Mars done fucking loads of classic tunes, a great underground artist, signed to Strange Music and stuff like that. Done a tune with John Cena for anybody that's kind of new to that, at least.
Oh.
Just finished doing a kind of a 24-hour rap marathon, basically just performing a lot of his songs, performing a lot of sort of well-known songs that feel like Wu-Tang Clan, A Tribe Called Quest. I think I had Tupac at some point as well. Exhibit at some point as well.
I kind of done a paparazzi by Exhibit.
Mm.
There was a couple of two.
But he done a whole lot of shit. There's loads of people advertising it as a freestyle, 24-hour freestyle thing, which it wasn't.
We can get into the definition of freestyle if you want.
If you want.
Well, the definition of freestyle, according to old school hip hop heads, is a
non-conceptual
rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
So technically,
I suppose
because it was just in bars. It wasn't doing like deep philosophical tunes.
No, it was just performing songs that already exist all the time. Nah.
Even then, it's pushing it.
He did freestyle a couple of times like that.
I think I did hear him going off the top.
But I tuned it at like 3 o'clock this morning, and then fucking loads of other people were sharing it, so I checked in again. I think he had like 5 or 6 hours to go. And then I checked in sort of when he had 20 minutes to go, and he freestyled for an hour full in 10 minutes. And fucking impressive, man. You see it like when I seen him like 12 hours in, he was quite lively still. But when we caught him in 20 minutes to the end, he started to liven up a wee bit more because he knew he'd completed it, so he was hyper in that sense. But the minute he stopped,
before he was about to finish, he was delirious. He was It was kind of like when you're really tired but you listen to a song you like, so you kind of the lyrics like no bother at all. So you're just you're not consciously doing it, but you're just rapping along quite the thing. That's what he was doing essentially. It was just, there was nothing. You could have offered him a sandwich, he would not have known you were there. He seemed to be shutting his eyes a lot at that point as well. He just did not fucking want to be alive. Just
trying to keep awake at that point and doing the same repetitive thing and again, even if it is rapping, it's fucking absolutely solid. So big up to him for doing that. It's absolutely mental. And to keep going after he's done. And the annoying thing is, right at the end, he was like, right, that's me, bed. He just got up and ready to go to his bed. And it was a fucking welcome.
That was probably planned.
Aye, but the annoying welcoming party when they're asking him questions and stuff, and I was like, just let him go to his fucking bed.
Aye, he's just...
Jesus Christ, he just said...
He's been an active rapper since, what, 90s?
Probably, about that time, I would say.
Just, he's done 24 hours of rapping non-stop.
Yeah.
Let him, the hair bath, put his baffies on,
yeah,
go to his bed.
There's something like you got any last words, he was like, yes, just leave him, Alin.
Aye.
Jesus Christ. It's the last thing you want after...
I needed him a bed just watching.
We done a 24-hour thing at the youth club. It was like an overnight
which I was on it to go to because I was under 13. Nah.
In fact, I'm sure that was on 12 hours.
It was an overnight thing.
Aye, just an overnight thing, that was it. But I remember
was that the trampoline one?
Aye. Well, we done a few. There was like bikes and shit.
Gaming one, I'm sure, did you know?
I was thinking about a gaming one. I've not seen that one, but there was like exercise bikes for one of them. There was like a trampoline in one of them and shit. But aye, the end of that, I was like, leave me. So I need to go to bed. Like I remember.
How did you get down the road? Did you need to walk down the
road?
I
got a lift for Angela, but I remember at the end of the trampoline one, we had to clean the place up before we went to walk in.
That's brutal.
So you get everything for it because you're sitting like for the last hour. You're like, oh god, please, man.
See, the Bairns would have been allowed to go to sleep, but you wouldn't have been allowed to go to sleep because you were the youth worker. You could have just
part of the thing was that like one person would be on the trampoline all the time, so like people would hear like shots about and stuff like that. So same with the bikes and shit as well. That was 2 people at a time. But fucking hell. But I was not allowed to go to sleep because I'm there to look after everybody sort of thing. Oh,
pair cunts, eh?
Up all fucking night.
You look after them. What a nightmare.
Yeah, but there was fucking 24 hours and people just still talking. What you're done.
I watched a guy doing a 24-hour stream just playing games, and I was like,
Christ.
How are you playing games? And then, because he'd reached a certain goal, he'd done another 12.
Fucking hell.
So he'd done 36-hour live stream. I'm like, what?
What's to be accomplished at that as well?
It was for charity. He was doing it for charity.
Fair enough.
So nothing. That's to be accomplished.
Yeah, totally.
He got nothing for that.
God.
He probably got a good few hundred, maybe a few thousand subscribers.
Maybe. I suppose it's cool. But I couldn't do any of the kind of lengthy things. I was trying to do 5 but
was it 5 hours?
5 hours, right. It was like 4.5, something like that, but fuck that, that's fine. Jesus Christ.
I could do that every week.
Nah.
An hour. Filling an hour every week is fucking
we're struggling now, to be fair, to fill in the fucking time. But big up to Mars for doing that. Totally. Absolutely fucking reckless behaviour. But
he's done a few air marathons though, like 5-6 hours.
God.
He seems to do them pretty regular.
Fuck that, man. Never. So, next news story, boy.
News story. Darren Brown.
Here we go.
Has cured a girl of her terrific knee pains or her leg pains or whatever it was. Darren Brown.
Did you watch Miracle?
I've not watched it yet. I'm going to watch it. I keep meaning to watch it and then I'm like, shit, porn or something else. But I do really want to watch it because I never normally miss anything Darren Brown does. But for this, for some reason, I think it's because I think it is. It's because since Mum used to be the one that would remember these things because they would be advertising the TV. I only watch TV, and so without Mum here, she's no there.
I heard about it completely through Darren Brown's Facebook, completely randomly. It just came up.
Well, for most things I do Facebook. For some reason, I totally missed this one. But I will definitely watch it.
Well, what happened to him? His sort of his usual stuff comes on. He does a wee bit of kind of funny stuff. Some kind of shocking.
I'd love to go and see him live.
But
he's a wee bit more expensive than what we're normally going to see.
So near the end, he decided to say there's loads of kind of charlatans, people that go about and kind of do this kind of fucking stupid faith healing stuff. He says, so I'm going to do some faith healing. I'm going to do it in the style of them. It might be a bit weird for you to watch because I'll just be using language that you use quite a lot of the time. And then he just got on with it. So he started healing people with inverted commas there. And there was one blind woman. All the way through this, he was making kind of cheap jokes like put your money in here, like don't bother with small change, 50s and 100s will be fine. And he was like, give me your bank details and shit like that, just like making stupid jokes like that. And then there was some blind woman, not completely blind because most people that are blind are not completely blind. We do know that. That's what happens. He seemed to cure her of her blindness. And so he was sitting there and he kind of put his fingers on his head. He was like, someone in the audience is sceptical. Which I thought was quite funny. So he just picked up some random dude and he was like, oh, you're sceptical like that. And then he'd done something with him and it was pretty funny. It was great. It was a great show as well. And the usual kind of thing at the end, there's a big reveal at the end as well. Which I'll not tell you. It's quite a cool reveal. But God, I was wanting to tell you that. But there's not.
Love that, bro.
It's cool. But this lassie, seemingly, she was involved in the show. I watched that happen.
Is this the one that was on film?
She was. This is on the.
That's cool.
It's weird the story just came out now, but it was filmed in fucking September. January. Was it that far back as well? Fucking hell. So it just came out now that she's been healed. Money for the newspaper.
No, it's because she didn't go back to being unill.
All right. So Darren Brown, seemingly through his faith healing, has healed her, and Darren even put on his Facebook, he's like, "Thank you, I've healed this woman, even though, like I said, I was going to do faith healing. Sorry, in the middle of trying to rubbish these people, I just done it myself." Sort of thing. So.
Problem is, right, so I read the story for this woman, and you were there, and she said that she used to get it a couple of times a month, and that every time her leg would disconnect,
she says it on the show as well,
that for it to heal, she would need to be on crutches for 6 weeks. And so I'm no a mathematician by any standard, but if something happens multiple times a week and it takes you 6 weeks to heal, you're never going to be healed.
Basically.
As I say, I'm not a mathematician.
No.
I'm a mashmatician.
No, he loves his toys.
Apparently. I love toys, lad. I'm not a mathematician, but that seems a bit dodgy. And the problem is that she wasn't actually healed. She just didn't have that pain for 2 months, and then she got surgery, and there was doctors that fixed it.
Right. I didn't realise that.
So
fucking hell, Jesus Christ. So it's always bullshit in the end.
There's always. So, but in fairness, also, it was the media that painted it as if she's like, "Oh, it's a miracle." It was just, she was just like, "That's weird that I've not had this pain that I'm so used to having," and that's quite cool that that's happened. And the media's painted it as, "Oh, he's God, he's fucking grr."
I was talking to somebody the other day about psychics and mediums and stuff like that, and
God, were they wrong?
They were like, "Do you know like a bit of fucking mystery in your life?" And I was like, "No, I can't stand it."
I agreed. No, absolutely not. That's why I watched magicians like Penn and Teller and folk that I could find out the trick after it.
And this person was like, "Do you know? I think there has to be something." And I was like, "No, I don't think that whatsoever." Because anybody that I've fucking seen, there's always some sort of why they do it. There's always some sort of fucking, "Oh, I'm going to hide my eyes," or fucking, "I'm going to stick my fingers in my ear."
I'm going to hide my eyes while turning my back to you.
Aye.
Oh, right, that's not suspicious.
There's always some sort of, and they're never fucking sort of detailed, and if they are detailed, there's been some sort of fucking backstory as to how it was detailed, because they fucking met beforehand. Nothing's ever been able to fucking be proven under any sort of circumstances that would help it.
No, there's always that fucking thing. There's always something that they happen to not mention. That happens to also give a perfectly fucking non-psychic explanation. Weird. Weird as fuck. That's always.
It always seems like it's passed off a lot as well for these people that do enjoy watching all that stuff.
Why? That's another thing. Why does there have to be something? Why? What's wrong with this?
That same person was talking about ghosts and stuff as well.
Why? Why? Are they an atheist?
Aye.
Dumb. The most annoying fucking thing ever. They're like, "Oh, that God stuff." Like piss with ghosts, so. Ghosts and psychics, which are equally unproven.
She'd said that she'd seen her gran or some shit like that.
Why is it that ghosts are always wearing clays?
Well, this is the thing. She'd said she'd seen her gran one night at the bottom of her bed.
With a nightie.
Aye. And I was like, I've had that dream as well. My granddad wasn't wearing a nightie at the time.
Was he wearing a suit though?
But I eventually got to the point where I was like, "Oh no, I was dreaming." That's it was just a dream.
When you saw granddad,
she said, which fucking infuriated me for a good 5 years, that what if it wasn't a dream? What if it was actually your granddad?
Then he should have
talked
like, to you in a better manner. Well, when you saw granddad, was he wearing a suit or a uniform or whatever? Because they're always wearing clays.
He was always wearing. He just had his normal clays on.
Right? Why? What is it about a ghost?
I wasn't want to show his peak,
Well, let's go into this scientifically, right? Let's try and look at this from their perspective, right? So a ghost, what would a ghost be? A ghost is meant to be the spirit and the soul of the human that came out of the body and is now flying about going, "Hiya, I'm a ghost," right? That's what a ghost is, essentially, right?
The microphone just went limp.
So, in order for a ghost to be wearing clothing, that would need to be... First of all, is it wearing the clothes that it died in? And in which case, why have spirits got clothing? Is a spirit then a picture of the body? And how the fuck does that work?
Well, the real answer is that anybody that's like seen a ghost in that sort of sense have seen it for their mind only. They're not thinking about fucking the way it should be.
But we're not looking at it we're looking at it for an objective standpoint.
I know.
If ghosts exist, explain their fucking clothes. Why are they wearing clothes? I've never had that explained to me. No one's ever. They've always changed the subject or just said, "Oh, you're so
like I tried to do
closed-minded.
there.
You're so closed-minded."
Oh, I hate
no,
that.
fucking answer the question. Why are ghosts wearing clothing? There's no fucking reason for the ghosts. If they're just spirits, they would just be floating hangs, right?
Orbs.
There would be it's an air fucking dust particles, Lord. Dust particles.
I mean, I seen it to somebody and they were like, "Oh, it must be a giant dust particle." Then I was like, "No, it's like Father Ted."
No, it's like
it's like close up.
Still far away.
So far away.
I
Man.
was in drama, and my drama teacher really believed in ghosts. She was talking about the spiritual aspect of videography and stuff
God's
like that, and
sake.
talking about how videos and pictures are the only ways to really notice spirituality in its purest spiritual form and stuff like that. And I'm like, but you're working in the most dusty environments ever. Of course you're going to see a lot of fucking orbs. There's dust everywhere, and you're using fucking fake lighting everywhere in order to get perfect shots.
Like shit, if we were in an abandoned building with these lighting, with the lighting we've
the
got
orbs
here,
would be ridiculous.
we'd be fucking orbs are us, mate.
genocidal. We'd be sure there was a genocide in that fucking in that abandoned warehouse. It's ridiculous.
It's
Just think for a second, and then after you've thought for a second, answer why fucking ghosts are wearing clothes. Just answer that fucking question.
well, nobody kens. That's the...
Well, fucking stop putting out pish statements until you could fucking answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
And the question
I mean, you can't
being,
answer the question.
because I didn't believe in ghosts.
Jesus.
Wow, it's raining.
Oh yeah,
Heavily.
Jesus. Holy shit. But aye, ghosts are insane. Absolutely fucking insane.
Don't speak to me about ghosts until you can answer why they're wearing fucking clays.
Well, then you're going to have no conversations.
And why are they never wearing hats? They never wear a hat. Why have they never got hats on?
I'm
Are
sure
ghosts
there's going to be.
against hats?
I'm sure there's going to be a cowboy ghost somewhere.
Never heard about a ghost with a gun. Never heard about a ghost that's wearing like feathers round their head and shit. Never happens. They're never wearing headgear of any kind. Never got a condom over their head.
Indian ghosts.
Blown it up. They never done any of that shit. Never got flutes. They've never got recorders.
I've heard of ghosts with flutes. I think.
It seems they can wear clays, but they can't hate fucking physical objects. What is all that about?
It's going to be Indian, like fucking Native American ghosts wearing headgear and shit, and cowboys wearing hats, and
Well, you never see them.
sailors wearing sailor hats and shit.
And why come skeptics never fucking see ghosts? It's always the ones that already believe in ghosts that see all the ghosts.
That's one thing I'd love answered. Well, the answer is because they're fucking deluded.
Because they're fucking making it up, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, right, so let's get off this before I have a fucking heart attack.
Right, what we go next? Race and religious hate crimes have risen by 41%.
That was going to be one of my things,
After
but that's
the
been
usual.
a pretty standard story since the Brexit vote.
As we all know, did that thing happen at the methyl shop? Was it? That wasn't after
Caspian
Brexit,
thing.
was it? No.
Caspian thing.
Aye. Was that no after
Was
the
it
fucking?
Caspian?
Was it Caspian?
No, it was after the... it was a Caspian thing, way.
Shop, aye.
Aye. But it was after the Paris attacks.
Oh, right, aye. Fuck's sake.
Because they were shouting, ISIS, but it wasn't a racially motivated attack.
Aye. Fucking hell. So, what I had to say is bullshit then. Have you noticed any instances in everybody? Obviously, all the racists are fucking happy that there's going to be no more Indians coming in. Although they say...
that's not even true. We've left Europe. We've no...
Well, aye, totally.
The open immigration wasn't even fake. India or the Muslim countries.
The fucking...
Now we've just opened it up to allow more from Muslim countries, which I support. Which is part of the reason why I supported a Leave vote.
So have you noticed any of this kind of 40%?
I haven't noticed a rise in it, but it tends to be mostly in England you hear about it. I'd imagine it does exist in like Edinburgh and Glasgow and stuff. I'd imagine it even exists through here, but there's such a low incidence of that sort of shit. People just like, they're quietly racist, or they'll say stuff on Facebook. They didn't actually want to do anything about it. They just want to be racist on Facebook and say, "Oh, Muslims are wrong," and kill all day. So, but it's a hilarious thing that the right wing will say, "Oh, the Muslims are all violent thugs. Let's smash them." Does that no seem to counteract your argument a wee bit?
It's always been the same thing. You got a schoolyard bully, like, "Well, fucking smash him, or I'll smash you if you don't smash him."
That's an amazing.
What?
I saw parents doing that.
Oh, I've seen
In
it quite a
fact,
lot.
so they got the parent gets battered, and then the parent batters the
bairn
bairn
for getting battered.
battered. Like, how's that helping anybody?
That doesn't help anybody. It's just
Fucking stupid. But I totally buy it, because I didn't necessarily think. I think it wouldn't have happened as much if we didn't vote. I think it actually would have happened more if we voted not to leave, is what I'm trying to say. Totally fucked up all my words there. But I think it would have happened more. It's happening less now than it would have if it went the other way, is what I'm saying. Because those people are better people. And if they had lost, fuck me, the immigrants would have been fucking calling for it then. Oh, they were asking for it. They voted yes to stay in Europe.
Here's another wee bit of local news story for you.
Oh, aye.
A woman who lived off earnings of Vice Ring, run from Kirkcaldy, ordered to pay back just £1.
What's a vice ring?
Vice Ring is basically a prostitution thing. Mind that woman that had had like subletted flats to. I'll go for the story with you. Her boyfriend.
That range ridiculous.
Oh, it's crazy, man. Her boyfriend was able to get people from Brazil that were already kind of soliciting sex. Got them to move here, kind of sublet them flats basically, and then take a percentage of their money for whatever people they can get in. And the women in question here set up our website and stuff like that, and was able to advertise all these women that were able to get from Brazil, which is fucking cool. I suppose. I don't know why that's legal, but whatever.
It was advertised as non-sexual.
Oh yeah, it was
escorts
all through that sort of thing.
What was it they always say? Any sexual activities that happen
can be discussed between
are only happening between two consenting adults, and it's not part of the package.
Totally,
something like that. Aye, totally.
Aye. So she's been obviously done, and so on Wednesday, Kirkcaldy Sheriff Court was told
she's been done. How? Why has she been done?
For setting all that stuff up.
Prostitution is legal in Scotland.
What?
Prostitution, the act of selling sex, is legal in Scotland.
Well, she's been fucking.
Is she being charged by advertising the services? Because you can't be charged for selling the sex. You could be charged for soliciting.
A woman who, I'm going to go for the hell. A woman who lived off the proceeds of a Scotland-wide sex for sale business run from her Kirkcaldy flat has been ordered to pay back just £1 of her ill-gotten gains. She raked 150,000 before the Vice Ring was smashed. Cohle laundered some of the earnings through her bank account and used 16,000 of it to pay her day-to-day expenses. On Wednesday, Kirkcaldy Sheriff's Court was told the general criminal conduct netted a benefit of £81,569, but the Calder's recoverable assets were only £1.
Right, so it wasn't as if she was only asked to recover that, that's all she had.
Mm-hmm. But I thought it was interesting, like, fucking
Miss Monks.
Basically, Calder 36 of Windsor, Berkshire, Englishwoman, pleaded guilty on indictment to a charge under the Proceeds of Crime Act 2002. She admitted that between August 12, 2013 and February 20, 2014, she converted and transferred criminal property, the proceeds of prostitution totalling £16,925 while working with Jose Barbosa.
Well, were they illegal immigrants? One?
Yeah?
Were they illegal immigrants or something?
I think so.
Oh, right, so that would have been
that
something it would be.
So that's quite an intense story for somebody in Kirkcaldy. You'd think. I never heard about that happening in
People want to buy pumping through here as well?
Aye. I never heard about that in Kirkcaldy, man, happening. Never heard about it at all.
Well, why would you?
Oh, but I thought, like, they kind of things come up, like, in sort of conversation. You'd be like, oh, again, what they're doing down there. And shit like that. Some sort of things come up.
Ah, but some...
Could you hear about drug dealers and people that are doing sort of, like, unworthy things?
There are folk that are just... Everybody kens what they're doing, and for some reason, nobody grasses on them.
Aye.
But then somebody else will get 20 quid a week wind cleaning, and some fucking sad fuck will report them for working when they're meant to be jobless. So it seems like folk pick and choose who they fuck with.
Aye. It's quite irritating. So, what about your last story, man? I've got my last story.
Oh, the last story
would
be that independence is on its way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not really. There's been a bill put up for... I think they're putting it up next week for... I think it's for the first read.
Mm-hmm.
For other MSPs to look at it. I think that's what the case is. I should have looked into this more, but I think that's what the case is.
Right.
And so she's planning another referendum to happen before the UK leaves the EU. So I think they said after they trigger Article 50 it's about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They said, I think is what the rough timeline is. And I think Article 50 has been triggered yet. I would have kidded if that had been.
You would have heard.
Aye, I would have heard. I think there is a date though. I just can't remember the date.
Alright. See, I had arm. You told me to. Well, I got rid of it on more.
No, the date of Article 50 being triggered.
Aye.
I think there's been a date for that.
Right.
Can't remember what it is. Doesn't matter. So we're getting an air independence referendum. Apparently, if the Scottish Parliament sign off on it, which they will because they're the majority.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's going to be another referendum. They can win.
Could be in a few years, I'd imagine.
Do you think that's going to be a good thing?
I've actually started to not care anymore. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, fucking, just I'm sick of referendums. There's only been 2, but I'm sick of them.
See, there was an argument that I've heard people make, and I've made myself, that pushing it on folk too quickly after the first failure is going to make people disillusioned with it, and less people are going to care, and that seems to be the case.
Right.
Although they got lucky, the SNP got lucky with this push for the referendum, for the EU referendum. They wanted it so that people would vote to leave the EU, but they also wanted Scotland to vote to remain, so that they had another reason to think like that. They claim that they didn't push for that idea. They fucking did. That's exactly what they wanted to happen. And it's happened, and it's worked out very well for them. There's been a surge of people that have supported and that didn't support before that are now supporting, including some Labour members. A lot of people that voted no last time have came out and said that they're going to vote yes this time. But at the same time, a lot of folk that voted yes last time are fucking bored of this now. So I reckon if it's going to work out. But the argument is that folk can't afford to wait. That was the socialist thing, is that folk can't afford to wait. You need to do it as quick as possible. The problem with that is, I agree that some folk can't afford to wait, but by pushing it too early and it failing, you're making those people that can't afford to wait even longer than normal. And I think that's worse in the long run.
So you have to wait to an opportune time, basically. Like if something happens in the political landscape, that they could just say, right, this is the time. Go.
Well, they got unlucky. See, the problem is the EU referendum was a perfect time to get another independent referendum, but it was too fucking quick after the independent referendum the first time. People are so fucking disillusioned with it now because all they've been hearing for the past 2 years is about the referendum and arguments between yes and no, and the yes side getting really fucking petty and bitter. Like really shitty stuff they're saying to some folk now, and folk are just like, no, I do not care about your life, and you're making me want to not fucking be on that side, and they're fucking up for everybody. So I think if the EU referendum would have happened in 2 years' time, then that would have been a perfect time, and I think we would have got the yes vote. But at this point, I think the SNP are too reliant on apathy and people not being interested, and I think it's going to backfire.
Fair enough. We're going to finish on this story, which I thought was pretty funny. It's not funny. She's got a point.
Is there an actual point to this? Because it looks ridiculous.
She has got a point.
Right.
Totally understandable. But for this to worry me, it would take a lot more. Carden resident, dust problems are making our lives a misery.
Misery.
Now she basically lives, and this is my biggest fucking thing, a resident living just yards from a wood recycling plant says she is desperate to see an end to the dust problems, which she claims are making her life hell. Now I would love to know if she moved in before the dust creation fucking centre was created. Because that's like moving into a fucking airport and then complaining about the noise.
You used to live in Comedian, didn't you?
Nah, that's a common thing. I've spoken to it about
Just the way you delivered it, it sounded like a comedian's thing.
It's because I am
Alright,
I'm a funny guy. I'm a funny guy.
Funny guy.
But I would love to find out if she'd moved in before, like she knew that. She basically says that fucking dust keeps kind of like collecting on her car and all that kind of stuff, and on the windies and fucking in the house and stuff. It's really fucking irritating. And look at the amount of dust she's talking about.
Doesn't seem like a lot.
It doesn't seem like a lot at all. So like she seems to be complaining that that's like a big collection every few days.
That's a few days.
Could well be, aye. But that's natural dust. Aye. But it's making her life a misery.
A misery, like she can't.
Aye, it's like she can't fucking.
She can't live.
Aye. Despite reassurances that the particles offer no risk to health and that the dust does not even constitute a nuisance, Mrs. Sutter is so concerned she is taking up the issue with the health and safety executive.
No, that's fucking ridiculous. This is another example of taking shit too far.
Mm-hmm.
You're worried about nothing there.
What was it? However, I basically they put forward the thing for the council. There you go. But the dust is that thick on my car some mornings that I just can't accept that having that in the environment around us isn't posing some sort of risk. Mr. Sutter has called for a comprehensive programme of dust monitoring for the area to determine once and for all what, if any, risks the problem may have.
I also didn't buy that it's posing no risk. Breathing in dust is always going to pose some sort of risk.
Well, that's it. But it was an interesting story. I just mainly wanted to find out if she'd moved in there beforehand, because that would be fucking irritating.
It's a bit it is a funny story though.
Oh,
It could be a fair point, I reckon.
Yeah, well, that's it.
For that picture, doesn't tell me much.
Just a small bit of dust
Aye.
on the window. It's fine. So we're about to end the podcast. Perfecto. So Hector Bizerk are playing tomorrow night at the art school, 7 till 10. This is the last ever gig. They've got an after party, which of the information I don't have to hand, but they're doing an after party afterwards with just more music, sort of DJ sets and stuff. So that's cool. You can go and check them out. And we're going to be playing a song in a few minutes. I'll just get through our wee social media stuff. If you want to check weekly podcasts on Tuesdays and Fridays, speaker.com/user/BTN podcast. BTNpodcast.weebly.com is their website. You can check that out. Besides the norm on YouTube, if you could add a wee like to our video and subscribe if possible, the big red button, fucking click it.
Well, that says subscribe.
Aye. That's basically, it's all quite self-explanatory. Facebook, Besides the Norm podcast. You check for that on Facebook. At BTN Pod on Twitter. Or you can send us an email or besidesthenorm@gmail.com.
Just to button here, is there a possibility that folk didn't subscribe because they didn't ken what subscribing is? Like the actual word, they didn't ken what the word means.
Maybe.
Is that possible?
Well, maybe know that.
Like they see a red button that says subscribe and they're like, I don't know what that means, so I'm not clicking it. Is it like, I feel like I'm being shitty to people.
It seems like it could be plausible, like, to be fair. It seems like...
Because there's no reason to not just follow it if you're going to watch it.
And it's free as well. I don't think if people think it's got to cost money or...
Aye.
Fuck knows. Subscribe! It's free! Do it. It's easy.
You see her more sometimes.
So this last tune we're going to play from Hector Bizerk is a track called Rust Cohle. I think that's how you say it, probably not.
Aye.
But enjoy. Peace.
We labour under the illusion of importance. Human conscious, confusion, erosion. A planned explosion, monster of a man awoken. Mechanisms malfunction, hardly coping. Man is broken, George best of a bad bunch. Depressed as he stares in his packed lunch. Throw one punch, had different expectations. Away for 11 months like Christmas decorations. Guantanamo to Alcatraz, ready to jet. Searching for alky dads, PhDs and regret. Make value judgments, demand new substance. Demented in a one-dimensional disturbance. Throw in your tuppence, even when you're bankrupt. Stuck in a money mad muck, can't stand up. Bad luck, a rapid reflex to bad moods. Lost the temper and you're caught out in an ambush. It's not my problem. It's not a problem for me. Is it a problem for you, dog? String yourself along in the lies that you research. Myths you bought defy, laws of the universe. Too few reverse and retrace the steps of mistakes. The trodden paths we never went with our mates. We won't embrace howling winds and dark nights. Just curl up and let it slide like apartheid. What is really happening? Ever asked me this? Pass a spliff, to Paul Gascoigne in a Gaza strip. A happy quip, a trove of children's innocence. Walt Disney quotes, a million grimaces. A pilgrim's pilgrimage to the ends of the earth. No thanksgiving, thanks taking, get what you deserve. Friends of the earth had an equal hard on. Measure carbon footprints without a leg to stand on. I'm gone, I reckon I'll never return. I only learned to swim cause I had bridges to burn. It's not my problem. It's not a problem for me. Is it a problem for you, dog? Sink my teeth into the frostbite. Show a cold shoulder, fly a false flag. I'm offside with a niche imposer. We see an odour, to most it seems colourless. Kick my sober head in, if it's on your bucket list. Casket or the urn after ashes to ashes. Racist racing static striking matches with the fascists on a blacklist. And you're told it's unacceptable when the marriage of the free bowl become a fucking festival. Each to their own, kid, welcome to my joyride. Those incapable of guilt usually enjoy life.